All right. Thank you for joining us today. I'm DW Hits from Fedowar Press. I'm here today with CJ Sampera, and we are here to talk about his work, his writing, his book that's going to be coming up with Fedowar Press. So, CJ, tell us a little bit about yourself.
CJ Sampera, as you just said, California, not really California native. I moved around a lot as a kid, but I've been here since I was 8 years old, and so I consider myself California native. Um, I have a love of horror, but I love all fiction really. I kind of started writing for children's books first. That's when my first book came out, and I had a whole idea for or a whole manuscript for children's picture books. And um, I think my love of horror just kind of always overshadowed everything that I've done and worked its way into what even the kids' book was the little girls learning to befriend monsters and stuff. So, I've always loved the dark and spooky stuff. And I felt kind of a need, not a need, but when I watch old slasher flicks and see all these new slasher movies, and not really new ones, but old ones being remade, I was just
Mhm.
wanting a new pantheon of horror icons. So I was like, you know what? If we want that in the world, then why not create it ourselves? So that's kind of where my whole idea for my adult horror books that I'm writing came from and stemmed from. And also, like, I used to spend nights just looking on Reddit for the scariest thing that I could find just because I'm so, like, numb to everything. I want to find the creepiest stuff out there. And, like, I kept getting inspired by seeing these pictures and videos and stuff. And I was like, I feel like I just need to create the scary stuff. So that's when I kind of really got into it. And I seem to find my calling, I feel.
Definitely. Yeah, and I love that sentiment. The whole, write what you want to read, because
Exactly.
it's you know what you want to see out there, and chances are somebody else wants to see it too.
Right. And that's what I really love to read, like more experimental authors and weird fiction, like Chuck Palahniuk stuff and
Mhm.
like Matt Ruff, that's Paul Nealon. Just like, I love the weird and the dark and gritty. So I would also, that's another thing I wanted to kind of incorporate into the horror is that like experimental writing style, but in a dark horror world.
Mhm. That's fantastic.
Hmm.
Very cool. So, um, Uncanny Valley days. We're hard at work at that behind
Yes.
the scenes. So, what's the idea behind Uncanny Valley days, and what gave you that? What brought that idea to your pages?
Um, well, again, the one thing like and I'm really like into the whole like how there's generational team of monsters for everybody. Like it used to be the universal monsters with Dracula, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and Frankenstein and the Mummy, and then it was for us, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and all that. It's also very much kind of a love letter to Wes Craven, and I didn't really set out to do that, but I just as I created the character and the rest of the story, I found myself really pulling from Wes Craven movies more than anything. So it's kind of just that, he's like one of the when it comes to my favorite horror movies, I feel like he has some of the biggest heavy hitters. So I kind of wanted a new iconic slasher villain that would
Mhm.
really scare people, and so I came up with Render, and he's I have a picture, but it's taped up. But you guys will see it soon enough. But he's my creepy little cyber demon that I came up with. Is actually in my first book, which is a bunch of children's or middle grade, middle grade horror stories. He shows up in one of the illustrations, and I was flipping through it today, and I realized like he's not even mentioned in the story. It's just a kind of a cyber thing that happens, and that. But I put a picture of him that I kind of sketched and he's in there. So officially, his first appearance will have been in my other book for kids. Feels kind of messed up, but yeah. And I also wanted to integrate a lot of the Midwest life that I experienced as a little kid, and so that's why I based the book in St. Louis, which is one of the places I grew up. And I don't know, I just felt like there was more to pull on, and it was a little fun to get out of my element because I've been in California for so long, and go back to that and do some research on that, and also find what really scares me, and like uncanny valley stuff really creeps me out. And I'll never forget watching there's an old video of these two AI chatbots talking to each other, and seemingly having like a conversation. One of them asks like, don't you want to be God? And I was just like, it's so weird that that's where they go to first. So it was like, that really set the wheels turning in my head to be like, what if they were able to create more than that? And religion and everything and vibrations are so like closely related in a weird way to technology and stuff, that I felt like there was something to pull from there that I tried to kind of encapsulate in Uncanny Valley Days.
So give us like a brief synopsis of just the first part of the story, so we can kind of give people a taste of what to expect.
Okay, so basically, kind of like that story I was just talking about, these programmers are developing these really smart AI chatbots, and one night they find that they're talking to each other on their own accord, and they start seeing humans as a virus, and they say, well, we need to do something to take care of this, and they create their own antivirus. And they do that by summoning this cybernetic demon who's like a mixture of Freddy Krueger and the Lawnmower Man, and bring him to life. And he just starts coming. Anyone that watches the video, and kind of like an homage to the Ring type of thing, like it brings forth this being, and he's just hell-bent on taking out people because people are the virus on the planet in their eyes. And from there it just turns into a slasher happy joyride of terrible scary things.
Well, I love it. I can't wait for us to be able to share it with the world.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
So tell me, what are you working on right now?
Right now I have a couple things in the works. I have the working title right now is Winter Break. It's kind of another slasher story set with a family that goes on their annual snowboarding trip up into the California mountains. And there's unbeknownst to them, there's an outbreak at this facility with human experiments, and two of the experiments are very hungry. So, and there's a blizzard, and it's not it doesn't turn out well for the family, but it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I also have Unsettling Legends Volume 2, which I'm working on, which my first one, we'll get into it later, but my first book of short, scary stories for kids. And, I say it's middle grade, but really I'd say 80% of the people that like the book have been adults. So it's really for everyone. And that one, I find myself coming back to it more than anything, just enjoying writing these short stories and having a lot more fun, because when you start at the middle grade, you have a lot of space to go. But it's also, you got to control yourself, because like with Uncanny Valley Days, as you know, I like to exploit the adult part of it and use a lot of cuss words and bloody scenes and stuff, and I can't do that with the kid stuff, but it's fun to challenge myself in that way. So
no, it definitely helps sharpen your skills, because you have to bring about something scary with a whole different dimension of horror.
Exactly.
Very neat. Okay. So tell me, what exciting things do you see in the future?
Man, I'm so excited about Uncanny Valley Days and to see how it evolves as we go and release it to the world and see how everyone likes it. Also, uh, nothing's set in stone yet, but me and my friend Damian Casey, another amazing author who everyone should check out if they haven't already, um, we want to do something together. So we don't really have like exactly what we're going to do yet, but no matter what it is, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're thinking about like a double feature kind of horror story collection. So no matter what it is, it's going to be fun. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I always am interested to see how collaborations work out because
Yeah,
you never know when you see get two people who both have their own styles and their own ideas, and it's almost like those things can become more than the sum of their parts.
exactly. And that would be my first time like officially collaborating with someone. So that'll be fun. I'm a little scared to see how it works because I don't know how the back and forth goes, but it's so easy to talk to Damien. I feel like it'll just all fall into place.
All right, well, that's fantastic. So tell me about any other works that you'd like to promote. For instance, your book there, your middle
This
grade book.
this little
Or,
guy, Unsettling Legends, is my
Mhm.
baby. It's the only thing I have out right now.
Mhm.
It is 16 short stories. Well, 14 short stories and two poems. There's a little more, and I illustrated it myself. Everything. Of course, when I'm flipping through, I don't find any of the good pictures. Yeah, you can kind of see it's all illustrated and set up by me. There's three sections. The first section is all kind of old uh, folklore kind of tales, things that seem like they're from the past. The middle section is just more modern ghost stories, urban legends, and whatnot. And then the third section is more futuristic stuff. There's a little stuff that like I kind of pulled, like tried to get into a weirder, more distant kind of urban legend thing. Like I don't, it was fun. It was really cool to be able to play with those three themes, and yeah, a lot of the feedback that I get from it is like I couldn't tell if these were real urban legends or not, and that's one other thing that I wanted to do with it was, I always, back in the days when I was having fun in college, I would always sit there and think about like, you know, all these old urban legends that we hear or folklore and stuff. We're so like set on it like in the ways that it already exists, but it's like it had to start somewhere, right? Like someone at some point was like, I want to create this new story. And like nowadays it's just kind of part of our culture and it's something that we all know. But like I'm always thinking like when did that like come about for the first time? When was this the new blockbuster thing when it was just a story being handed down from word of mouth? And I was like, well, if we want to make those kind of stories, we just got to do it ourselves. Again, that's kind of my thing. So
Mhm.
it makes me really happy when I hear people saying like it feels like a real urban legend or an old myth or something. So that's cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
thank you.
I have a copy of it sitting on my shelf right over here, and it's a
Oh, nice.
fantastic book.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
think
very much.
definitely. I think people should go and pick up a copy and check it out.
Yes, please. It's on Amazon right now on Kindle and paperback, and working on a hardcover coming soon, hopefully.
All right. So, I might not have mentioned this before, but we have all of your information in the description down below. Where would be the best place for readers and other authors to get in touch with you?
Um, Mostly the time being right now, I'm mostly on Instagram, but Twitter, I'm on there too. I'm gonna get back on there. I used to be all over Twitter and been in a bit of a cave lately, but I'm gonna be back. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram. I'm on TikTok too. I have a lot of fun on there. It's been a while since I posted, but I actually have a really cool commercial that I'm gonna film with my kids for this book. So that's gonna be fun. A lot of and as Uncanny Valley Days gets closer, I'm planning on doing a lot of cool promotion stuff and fun things for everyone. So it'll be good to see. If you want to follow me, And any of those three, I'm on there. I'm on Facebook too, but not really that much. But if that's your means of social media, then by all means, please message me, befriend me. I'll talk your ear off in DMs if you want.
All right, well, that's fantastic. All right, so once again, I'm here with CJ Sampera, and I encourage everyone to follow the links below. Go check out his previous book, and also keep your ears out for upcoming news on Uncanny Valley Days, which is a fantastic book we can't wait to share with you.
Render is coming. Thanks, Dustin. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.